Alright, so I am getting really entertained by what's going on in the election, and I don't mean that in the slight of like entertainment like football or soccer. It's more like engagement and trying to like figure what the hell is going on, apart from like just reading tons of the media and like, trying to like see through yourself and just like trying to like read from every news outlet and like seeing every video and like talking to friends and like, going on what is happening. But it seems to me that right now Biden appears to be on the lead, and for that matter seems to be getting a grasp on Michigan, Wisconsin, and Nevada. And apparently Trump may have a holding on Pennsylvania up until we count the mail-in votes, which is inclining towards the left. So there's these multiple factors that are going on right now, which is very interesting. Okay. For the most part, this threw me off guard. I thought this was going to be another repeat on 2016. But I think the city strongholds kind of like, they pushed out the votes. So it was cities, states, and like populated suburban areas where it kind of like had enough votes, and it's coming out onto the rest of the state, and leading out the electoral votes. But even popular vote wise, Biden's in the lead, but it's still a device. It's still decisive. It's still divided just on like the thoughts and like where everyone's ideology is at. But it is a turning point on towards the Democrats. Not only is, I believe Biden possibly could win the presidency, but the House and the Senate seems up for grabs as well. So this is a turning point. But we can only, we won't know until like weeks from now, or like this 1 week, 2 weeks, it's down to the wire. So there is that. That's very interesting. And I've just been trying to keep up with everything. It doesn't even feel like my birthday. I gotta remind myself, happy birthday to me. I'm 25 years old. That's amazing. That's a milestone. I was telling myself, wow, really? 25? Doesn't feel like it. But yes. Now, according to everything, so like, some keynotes take into account Pennsylvania. Although Trump may be having Pennsylvania, we're still unsure. We're still counting the mail-in votes, and mail-in votes are leaning more towards left. So there is that to take account of. So with Nevada, although Joe Biden could have won Nevada, it's possible that it can flip into a red state. So it's very unsure because they still have a lot of votes to be counting on. Wisconsin and Michigan, which is like that was a very tense battle. Just by a small margin amount of votes, the Democrats were able to secure Michigan and Wisconsin, which were key battleground states. So it's amazing. I think the turnout rate has been unprecedented. We never voted in this sheer amounts before. So I think we have to it's just everyone put in their 100%, and and the results are following. It's paying off. And as of course, there was going to be, as expected, Trump was going to show some backlash. Trump team launches legal onslaught in Pennsylvania as the path to election once narrow. Republicans are launching a legal onslaught challenging Pennsylvania's election procedure to protect President Donald Trump's narrowing lead in the state, a battleground that he must hold if he retains any chance of election. As shown in his Twitter account, obviously he is mad. Well, he doesn't have a right to be mad, but he's going all at it. He's going all at it on Twitter. So he's going to be using his personal lawyers to resolve this. But this isn't about any fraud or like a mail-in voter election. This is like the vote of the people, as so it's very interesting on the two characteristics of either Trump and Biden. Biden is more about reconciliation, healing as a nation, and or I'm not just a Democrat, I'm also an American. So the people who voted against me, I'm still going to treat you the same as the ones that voted for me. So it's just two different sheer ideas of like who they are, and it's ultimately, this is going to show where we're going to see ourselves in 2021. So it's a tough, but you know, Trump is definitely going to show some resilience on this, and he's definitely want to try to get a recount on Wisconsin or Michigan. I think Wisconsin, Michigan, one of those two. But yeah, let's see. As the president has rightly said, the Supreme Court must resolve this crucial contested legal question. Let me see, it's still on. Let me just pretend like, you know, I have to keep a check on this. It's moving as the president has rightfully said, the Supreme Court must resolve this crucial contested legal question. So President Trump's campaign is moving to intervene in the existing Supreme Court litigation over the Pennsylvania Supreme Court unlawful extension of the mail-in ballot receipt deadline. So Republicans are trying to like weigh in on that, the mail-in deadline, but I mean, it's I mean, you can't really defeat like the votes of the people. So it's like, you know, it's like, you know, he has this premise is like you're working on a little bit, you know. Let's see, but yes, this is a close race. I expected nothing like, you know, I expect something like this going on, so we're not gonna know until like 2 weeks or a week from now. So by all means, but you know, Biden seems to be in the lead, and you know, they're like, that's great. I mean, you know, I voted for Biden. So let's see, is there anything else I would like to talk about? So yeah, those key battleground states of Michigan, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, and Nevada are going to ultimately determine where where the election is going to take place. But we're counting sheer numbers right now. Like, how many were last time? Like 120,000. We're already beating the 4 years back in 2016 numbers. So this is, you know, unprecedented, if we can say that again. And not only that, we also have to take into account of the House, the Senate, you know, local officials, propositions. I mean, what's gonna go on? I mean, this has been mentally draining for the past yesterday and today, and it's gonna be like this for the next week. So prepare to see a lot of allegations and a bunch of misinformation on board, especially conspiracy theories online. So all this is going to influence, or it's not even going to influence, but like, you know, all this is going to be on the board, especially the upcoming next week. So be mentally ready. So this isn't going to be easy at all. But yeah, I mean, that's all I've been doing today, and it's been crazy. I mean, like, say for example, Pennsylvania still has to count in more than 1 million mail-in votes. So mail-in votes tend to be left. So, and you know what? I think this is it for now. I mean, it's still undetermined. I mean, it's about it. I mean, obviously, you know, you gotta check your local propositions and your local governors, but this was a tough battle. I mean, it's either it's the mile run or it's the 4K run, so it's still undetermined right now. But as of right now, that's all I've been doing, just doom scrolling, just like checking my phone since in the morning, and like, you know, I haven't stopped. It's crazy. It's insanity right now. Although some things that I did notice as I was like trying to like my own personal account, I did realize in particular how like cities and big populated areas tend to vote blue, and then the rural areas are more of the, you know, red states or like red areas. So it's just that sheer dichotomy. Coastal lines also more blue or Democrat. So it's just these two different ideas of where we lead. So ultimately, you know, even if Biden wins, it's only the beginning of like a massive reforms. Like, you know, this is just like the starting point. So in my opinion, there's still a lot of work to be done. I mean, this is far from over, and you know, it's just leading you on towards the days ahead, and that's going to be tough. But regardless, you know, one day at a time. So we'll keep you guys updated, and I think I'm going to call it on this episode. Yes. See you next time.